Speaking of US.
A of A.
UFS.
Ah, the Universal Fighting System.
I want to know a bit of your history with that game.
Okay.
You talk about it a lot, like how amazing it was, but like,
Just not a fan?
I mean, I've only played it once.
Oh, yeah. So, UFS, I first played UFS when I was like 11 years old, I think, or maybe 12. It had just came out. It was, at that point, it was Street Fighter versus Soul Calibur. Those were the only two sets that you had. About like 3 to 6 months into it, like the guys from Penny Arcade would write articles and stuff about playing the game and how great the game was. So the creators of UFS put Penny Arcade into the game. Oh. So you had the Penny Arcade expansion. And that was when I really started playing it. I was like, oh man, this game is so fucking fun. So, yeah, the first time I played it, I picked up it was a Ken structure deck. And all my other Yu-Gi-Oh, people that played Yu-Gi-Oh at my local game store were playing it. And I was like, oh, what's that? And they're like, oh, it's Street Fighter. I'm like, what? Street Fighter and cards? How does that work? So then I sit down and, they show me how to play it and everything. And I was like, this game is dope. So my local game store at the time completely got rid of Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments.
Damn.
For UFS tournaments.
Wow.
That was how big that game was in that little area. And I mean, this is just a tiny ass little store in the middle of North Dakota. It was amazing how within a week everything flipped from Yu-Gi-Oh to UFS.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I played the hell out of the game. I loved it. I had so many decks built. The two that I remember most fondly are my souped up Ken deck, and then I had I can't remember his name from Penny Arcade, but I had a Penny Arcade deck, and that deck was great. That was so much fun because all the cards are mischief cards that made no sense. There was oh, I tickle his feet and stuff like that instead of punching. It was freaking hilarious. But that game, it disappeared off the face of the earth. Everybody stopped playing it all of a sudden. It was just everybody just transitioned back over to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or some people went into Magic. And I was like, oh, well, guess I'm back to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again.
It's amazing how card games will just die.
Yeah. But I think there's somewhat of a resurgence in that game. I don't think it's a huge resurgence, but...
I know a lot of those people are not playing Shadowverse.
Yeah, I could see that too. That's not one game that I would particularly get back into. UFS, I would enjoy playing UFS again, but I would never collect the cards again.
Probably not.
No.
I've actually... So first off, before I forget, a side note, I would really love to see a Street Fighter RPG. I know it would make no sense, but...
You could watch the Street Fighter movies, the live-action movies.
And especially, in fact, it'd probably be terrible, especially because Capcom really doesn't really know how to make a Street Fighter story.
Yeah.
But
who's the main character in Street Fighter again? Because I know it's Ken and Ryu, but there's a lot of times where I've watched and it's all of a sudden Chun-Li's the main character, and then it's oh, okay, well, here's Balrog.
The problem with Street Fighter is that it's a bunch of stories.
Yeah.
That have that kind of give them a reason to be together. So there's Ken and Ryu. They're rivals. Ryu's this wandering hobo dude, and Ken's this rich dude from America.
Yeah. And
they fight. They like fighting. Then there's Sagat, who is kind of a rival to Ryu. It's definitely a lot more friendly now. He just he wants to defeat Ryu fair and square.
And his first name is Bob. Go on.
Anyway,
M. Bison.
So the M. Bison thing. Shadaloo is the villain, I guess. Well, one of the villains of Street Fighter. And I guess if you were talking about okay, you're focused on the point of Street Fighter, who's kickstarting all these events. The main character is either Guile or Chun-Li, because Guile and Chun-Li are, I don't think they're part of the same organization, but they're the dudes who go out to stop Shadaloo. And occasionally they'll get Cammy in there as well.
I was going to say, what about Cammy or Viper?
Yeah, Cammy used to be part of like Shadaloo, and then because she was brainwashed,
Yeah.
part of like the dolls experiment, eventually freed by Chun-Li, I think, and now she occasionally joins Guile and Chun-Li on their adventures.
Now, where does Rufus fit in all this?
He's just one of those joke characters.
Or Fuerte.
Yeah.
Where do these guys fit in?
Rufus is like, his thing is that he thinks he's the best in America, so he wants to go fight Ken. El Fuerte?
It's super dynamic cooking time.
Of all... Hold on. Make sure my audio is... Yeah. Of all the dumb reasons to get into a fighting tournament, El Fuerte has the dumbest. I want to find better ingredients for my cooking.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go fight in this tournament.
I just love that intro when he comes in. He's spinning in the air with a frying pan.
Dynamic cooking time.
It's the best intro to a fight. What would you do though if you're like somebody trying to fight that and he just comes in with a frying pan spinning in the sky and you're just like,
I don't know how to beat that.
What the hell? Do I punch him?
How do I beat that?
Do I find Martha Stewart?
Well, that's the best fighter ever. How do I beat that?
And then you got like some more old school characters like Vega and like Balrog.
Yeah,
and, like,
Vega and Balrog are part of Shadaloo. For their own reasons, actually.
Yeah. And then, let's see, you also got E Honda.
I actually really like the way Balrog and Vega have actually been going in terms of story.
Yeah. What about E Honda?
E Honda is another one of those, like, he wants to prove that sumo is good.
Yeah. So
he joins. I mean, it makes more sense than El Fuerte. So.
Oh yeah, if that's where we're basing everything, then what about Viper?
Viper is actually a agent. I forget exactly. I think she's part of Sin. S-I-N.
Yeah, I think so.
She's like an agent of some sort. Not directly with. I don't know where her alignment is, but she's an agent, an undercover agent of some sort.
Yeah. Investigating
Shadaloo.
I think out of all the Street Fighter characters, though, Guile is my least favorite. Least favorite. I don't like how, like, especially, have you watched the live action movies?
I have not.
You've not? Okay. So they make Guile out to be the most pompous, like, American asshole. Like, he'd be like equivalent of like Trump supporter, like 2020 thing. Like, he'd be wearing a MAGA hat. So, like, I don't like Guile.
From what I understand, they gave him a German voice actor, too?
Yeah. He's an American German dude. Just let him do his thing. But no. And even, like, when it comes to, like, UFS card game, he was always one of the weakers. You know, one of the weakest ones. Chun-Li was one of the most powerful back in the day. Because she had, like, her attacks were weaker, but she had higher starting hit points, and then she also had...
Higher starting hit points?
Higher starting hit points.
Chun-Li has always had, like, lower
Or no, yeah, you're right. She had lower starting hit points, but higher... Fuck, I don't remember.
Speed, maybe?
Something like that.
Chun-Li's always been, like, very fast.
But I just know that she was one of the most, like, if you want to call it in the meta, when there was, like, 14 or 15 fighters to pick from.
Oh, hand advantage. Because you had more.
You
had more cards in
that
hand.
was what it was, hand advantage.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was always one of the top, like, to play in the meta, and then the Penny Arcade guys were up there too.
It's good to know. Oh, back to my original thing before I went that Street Fighter tangent. It's amazing how, like, card games will just come up and they'll be popular and then they'll just die.
Yeah, and then they just vanish.
I found a card game that I'm just gonna pick up. I'm not even gonna play it. It's called Magination. Or Magi Nation. Something. I remember I saw a card and I was like, that's cool. And then I saw another card and I was like, that's broken. I don't even know how to play the game, but that's broken. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick this up.
So what is the most random card game you've ever played?
Most random card game
Yes,
I've ever
like they like nobody else would ever think about playing anymore. I think mine wins, but we'll figure it out.
Oh, Legend of the something rings. Legend of the 5 Rings or something. think that's what it was called.
I was an avid collector and avid player of the Harry Potter trading card game. It was also made by Wizards of the Coast, and
Seems appropriate.
Yeah, just another random throw in there. There's actually a grouping of Magic the Gathering cards that have the Harry Potter back on them, where they misprinted them, and those are worth like anywhere between $1,000 to $5,000 a piece. So, just a random thought to throw that in there.
Let's see, how soon?
I gotta be there at 5.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wow. I guess we can end it here if we need it. All right. Is there anything specific you want to end on, or?
Not really, man. It's just, if you enjoy playing card games, it's fun and shit, but it always sucks to see certain ones start to die. Like, seeing Force of Will die is not very cool. Because Force of Will is, like, it's the first card game that I got back into after being away from card games for forever.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's even weirder explaining to someone why it's dying.
Yeah.
Because you also kind of have to explain the game.
Right.
It's hard enough in itself.
Yeah. But, I mean, to end, I would just say, I know you guys will never listen to this, but if you work at Force of Will Company, quit being assholes and just like do proper things and have good ideas.
Actually, this is like a slim chance, but like, because they did reach out, because I was like one of the VIP people when they still did the Force of Will Willpower Rewards. Mm-hmm. I was one of the VIP people. Then they actually came at me with like a survey, like how I think the game is going.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. And then there's always Jeff. Well, not anymore.
There's always Jeff, but he's fired. I hope Jeff gets a good job somewhere. I know he will.
From what I understand, he was actually like, Force of Will was like his other job. Yeah. And then he had like a teaching job.
Well, Rob also, he runs a bunch of game stores somewhere. So he's not only was not only a partner with them, but also had his own reasons for wanting the game to succeed because he wanted to profit. So, but Rob, Jeff, you guys are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that those bastards didn't listen to you.
Yeah. All right. I've been Man Manson PI. That has been
James IP minus the last name. I'll have to cut that out.
All right. You want to just start over?
Yeah.
All right. That has been
James. Oh, fuck, I did it again. You gotta quit saying...
That's been Will Smith, and we'll see you next time.
I like Will Smith.
See the sun rising higher in the sky. Greatness thrusts itself into our lives.
Do a quick microphone test.
Yeah. 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 Maybe. Yeah. No. Yep.
Alright, let's try it again.
Taco Bell?
Damn. Just so quiet. I guess I can increase the recording volume a bit.
Am I still quiet? Yeah, I guess I am. Huh. Bacon wrapped salami sandwiches.
The background noise is almost as loud as you.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That is a lie. Am I gonna have to scream the entire time? Because I can do that.
Let's move it up to 100. Try again?
100.
Alright.
Better?
I think we can lower it a little bit. Audio problems. Yay.
No.
Oh.
We don't have problems. we've got answers. No problems. No scrubs. Just like Weezer and TLC.
Mm. He doesn't want no scrubs.
No, I want 0 scrubs.
What are scrubs, if you had to define them?
They're guys who can't get no love faced. I also tend to hang out the passenger side of their best friend's ride. Tried to holla at me.
At you, specifically.
Yes, at me specifically.